My name is Rima Locus. Today we will be discussing orbital maneuvers. Orbital, in simplest terms, basically how you can do things with orbits. So firstly, we have the ship here in low Earth orbit in a 31 by 36 kilometer orbit. Now, here we are relative to the Earth's orbit around the Sun. In this case, we would be approaching, if you were to draw a giant, if you were to say the center was, if you were to convert this into a coordinate plane, you could say the Earth was negative 90 or almost 260. Well, technically it'd be like 92 degrees because counterclockwise, instead of it'd be clockwise instead of counterclockwise. But you know what I mean. About 91 degrees relative to the Sun. That is where 0 is exactly. So, anyways, so see here, we are approaching we are approaching approximately 90 degrees of prograde. Now, if we were to burn prograde, you can see here that brings us, or that increases our apoapsis to about 112 kilometers. Now, if we were to time warp to apoapsis, you can see here that we've circularized our orbit and gotten ourselves a nice 109 by 17. Now, if we were to go back to the 90 degrees to prograde, 90 degrees to prograde, relative to the periapsis, and if we were to burn radial out, you can see here that it decreases the periapsis and increases the apoapsis while decreasing the periapsis. Now, if we were to do the same thing if we were to burn radial out on the other side, or 90 degrees past apoapsis to the retrograde, you can see here that it decreases the orbit and it slides the orbit to the right, or left in my case. You get what I mean? It shifts the orbit horizontally to where you're directly pointing. And it looks like I ran out of fuel. Time for more shifts. Now, if we were to set up an encounter with the moon, you can see here that our approach vector is our approach vector to the moon is relatively aligned to where the moon is supposed to be. As I say, we would be burning towards the moon in this orbit. Now, if we were to continue these burns and get into we have to get into what's known as a free return trajectory, where you into the moon's SOI just enough where you technically make an impact, and then it should slow you down just enough so that you fall back to Earth. Here we go. And we're entering, we're getting any kind of up 519 kilometers up. Here's an encounter. The moon's orbit hasn't done much. In fact, we pretty much got an increased apoapsis. Now, if we were to burn prograde inside the moon's SOI, slowing ourselves down because we're facing opposite the Earth's orbit. Now we get a free return trajectory back to the Earth. if we were to say, if we were to say have encountered the moon while it was in the path of Earth's orbit, and we would have gotten a flyby, we would have increased our velocity relative to the sun. Unless I'm mistaken, those are the only maneuvers I can think of relative to relative to SFS rate, because inclination only works in three-dimensional spaces. Now, there are several types of things you can do with ships. You can get encounters like this. This is what we call a flyby, in which you pass by in the moon without getting in orbit. Now, technically, what we did was a power flyby, where we increased our velocity relative to the moon, but which also decreased our velocity relative to the home planet Earth. You've also got you can do flybys. You can encounter Venus, to get to Mars, get to Jupiter. Those things take a considerable amount of planning, and this does not have the LTV to do that. So, I guess it's approaching 6 minutes, and that'll be all. And the next time I'll be telling you about Delta V. Have a nice day. Bye.